All right. Hey, everyone. Hey, I want to try to do a book recommendation when I can. I'm about 120 pages into this thing. One Book, One Authority, 2,000 Years of Church and Bible History by Dr. Douglas D. Stauffer. I think he's got a website called BibleDoug.com, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put the link in the information bar, and he might even have a YouTube site. And I'll put the links in the information bar. But I kind of knew a lot of the material so far. I haven't finished the whole book, of course. But he kind of brings it all together and puts it in a way that anybody can understand. And so, you know, there's lots of books on this topic. This is a good one, though. And if you're new to the King James only situation and the fact that we've been inundated with multiple versions of the English Bible and which Bible should you read, that's a good one to start out with. And I'll put his information below if you're interested. You can check it out. But let's get to the heart of this video, why I'm making this video. So, you know, I have, for some reason, my life has exposed me to certain things that are going on in the world. I see conservative groups trying to get together and push various constitutional issues, drones, NDAA, Patriot Act, Second Amendment, and recently I've been exposed to some of that in my life in Dallas, and recently I see this panel that Pamela Geller was on, where she makes the comment that it's inappropriate to talk about the eligibility of Obama, and how many topics can this panel hold? And you know, you get the impression that they're going to work on the Muslim Brotherhood issue, which I don't deny is a valid issue, but they don't want to be associated with the birther issue because it could bring them down. And that's not the first time I've ran into that situation. Let me tell you what I think this is like. When I hear talk like that, because I'm exposed and I have had some experience with groups in Dallas, and they'll say, well, this is going to hurt our credibility, and we don't want to be associated with the birther group because you guys are seen as Looney Tunes and conspiracy theorists, and you know, we don't want to be associated with you because we have some valid concerns over here, and we really don't want to be associated with you birthers. Okay, let me tell you what I think about when I hear talk like that. Peter in the Bible, okay? Peter walked and talked and saw Jesus all the time. Peter said, I'm willing to die for you, Lord. I'll never turn on you. The Lord turned to Peter. You know what he said to Peter? You're going to deny me 3 times. You're going to deny me 3 times, Peter. You know what Peter did? When they took the Lord away and they started the process of convicting him and going about his crucifixion. You know, people came up to Peter and they say, hey, I recognize your accent. I recognize, aren't you that guy that was with Jesus? Aren't you that guy? Peter said, no, I'm not with him. No, that guy hanging on the cross. No, that's not. I'm not associated with him. That's it. That's exactly when Peter denied Christ 3 different times. You folks who claim to be for the truth, you folks who claim to be for the Constitution, you folks who claim to want to do what's right for America, and you say, well, I don't want to be associated with you birthers. You guys are crazy. You guys, if I get associated with you birthers, it's going to hurt my credibility. I might not be able to sell as many books as I once did. When I get up in front of a crowd and when I speak to people, if I get associated with you birthers, people might laugh at me. You guys are no better than when Peter denied Christ. You're denying the truth. You know in your heart that Sheriff Joe Arpaio is not crazy. You know, when did we get to a point in this country where a community organizer that came out of nowhere, right, that we have put more faith in a community organizer, right, than we do that someone who's devoted over 50 years of their life to law enforcement and community service, right? Law enforcement service, like Sheriff Arpaio. I want you to think about a picture of Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Think about a picture of Obama with his community service. Which one you going to trust more? Which one do you think's going to... I know you look at me and you don't want to believe a word I say. I'm just some redneck hillbilly who yells at a camera, and you don't put any faith in me, and I don't really give a crap. I'm not here to convince any of you people. I'm here to talk with you and to try to learn something, but I don't give a crap whether you believe me. Matter of fact, just to be honest with you, I can't stand 99% of you. 99% of humanity makes me want to vomit. I just can't stand most of you. But let's change the situation for a second and talk about Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who spent 50 years serving this country of his life, and you got your community organizer Obama over here. Now, all of a sudden, when did we get to a point where we're going to say, well, this guy's telling us the truth, he wouldn't do anything wrong, but Sheriff Joe Arpaio, he's lying to us. He's risking his reputation for his whole life, and he's just putting out a big old lie. He's telling us that that birth certificate's a forgery, but Sheriff Joe Arpaio, he's a little racist, he's a little crazy, we don't believe him. When did we get to a point where you put more emphasis on Obama, a community organizer with no track record whatsoever, than with somebody who spent over 50 years of their life giving service to law enforcement to this country? You guys make me sick. And when you say I don't want to be associated with you birthers, you're just like Peter in the Bible. There's going to come a time when justice comes, and all you people who tried to distance yourself from this issue and you don't want any part, it's going to come back on you. Our sons and daughters have a commander-in-chief that is ineligible. You think about that. We have a foreign entity as commander-in-chief of our military, in command of our sons and daughters in the military, and you guys don't want to talk about it. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It might make you... It might hurt your reputation. It might hurt your credibility. It's below your dignity to get associated with the birther crowd. There's going to come a time when justice comes, and I can't wait for that day when justice comes and you cowards and you sellouts get what's coming.